Hi guys, I'm showcasing the version 0.2.1 update for 4D Minecraft, which is the Hopper update. Um, let's see, I just have like some example stuff that gets increasingly more complicated. And let's just go through all of them. So this is vanilla Minecraft, just item moving between two hoppers, right? You can see it like swaps between the two. We can translate this, we can rotate this in 4D space to get something slightly different. So this hopper is dark green. That means it's a hopper pointing kata. If you look in the F3 menu in the top right, it also says the facing for is kata. So it's pointing in the kata direction. If we move step 1 kata, there is a hopper that is facing ana. So we have one in the kata direction and one in the ana direction, which are both pointing into each other. Because the hopper on the kata side is pointing onwards. So then these two also just like exchange an item between each other. And then that allows for like this flip-flop as well. And how I made that work is, well, this one's pretty obvious, and this one I also just like moved it around, and it's getting powered through those slices. What else is there? This is a cool example of like another chain hoppers. So again, this hopper is purple, so it's pushing in the ana direction. So we have a ton of hoppers that sort of like loop around this way. Then we move in the ana direction. Another purple hopper, we move in the ana direction again. And then these hoppers, they go sort of like in the reverse direction. And then a kata hopper, so we go one kata, then another kata, and now we completed the cycle. And here's sort of like a visualization of that. So on this slice, we have regular hoppers pointing to a kata, an ana hopper. Move up. Now we're over here with our ana and kata hopper. And then over here we have just regular hoppers, and finally a kata hopper pushing it down. Sorry, not down. Down in this sense, but pushing it kata in like the 4D sense. Yeah. And this creates like a 16 step, 16 hopper tick redstone clock, which I think is cool. Here's another like super useful use case for this, which is that you can kind of remove like you can kind of hide all the redstone much more easily. So usually you have to like put everything behind a wall and stuff. But in this case, we have no walls, and we can see that if I put hoppers in this chest, they slowly filter into the chest above, and we'll get all 15 back. So how is that working? Under here we have a hopper pointing, I think, ana, yeah, and then that's pointing into a dropper here. In fact, I'll just put some items in here so we can just like keep on seeing it working. And then we just have a comparator redstone clock. This one is pointing to the third slice. So first we have like the chest, then we have some droppers, and then we have finally target blocks on this one with like this redstone elevator, which is powering the droppers, and that's what allows items to flow through up into here. And then finally we have a kata hopper that pushes it back into this chest. Cool. Here's another example of, I guess this is something that's just not possible in 3D Minecraft. So here we have a few blocks and some colors. We have, let's see, we have like in the positive X direction, we have like some red concrete, in the negative X, some cyan concrete, and all in all, we have 5 different colors of concrete being pushed in to this, right? So in 3D Minecraft, you can only put 5 different types of items into a chest simultaneously. Because hopper minecarts can't point directly into chests, so you have to use a hopper first. So then in the end, you can only accept like an item every 8 game ticks. So from each hopper. So then you get like 5 times hopper speed maximum. We can see if we put this chest here, we're getting 7 items in total. How is that working? How that's working is that we actually have this hopper on the ana side, which is pushing in purple concrete. That's where that comes from. I have this hopper on the kata side pushing in green concrete. And you might notice for these ones, like the color is swapped. That's because this hopper is on the ana side, but since it's pointing kata, it's green. Similar to how like this hopper, right? It's on the east side, I believe, yeah, on the east side, but it's actually pointing west itself. So that's why it's like, oh, this is green, but it has purple concrete. That's because like they're pointing in opposite. It's on the opposite side to the direction it's facing in. And we can see we've gone 7 different concretes over here. So that's not something that's possible in vanilla Minecraft. Let's look at furnaces. So traditionally, how furnaces work is you put the item you want to cook at the top, and it appears over there. You put the fuel in the side, and that slowly filters into here. And then any output you get, you can extract from the bottom. So how's this different? Well, we don't need this because well, what I can do is I can put some fish in here, and we can see that if I move, or actually I'll put this here for now. If I move 1 ana, we have a hopper over here. Sorry, I moved 1 kata, not ana. If I move 1 kata, we have a hopper over here. And since this is pointing ana, this is actually pointing from the side into this furnace, which means if I put coal in this, it's getting taken out. It's actually going into the furnace, and it's cooking the fish. So this is like, this chest doesn't do anything. This is like a sort of, in a way it's 2-dimensional because you have the Y direction and the W direction. So this takes up like some space in the W direction as well. But from like a single slice, this is a completely 2D tileable design. And that brings me to this. This is a 64 furnace array. So we have 8x8 furnaces here. What we do is we place a hopper minecart over here, which takes all of these items, and we place on the kata side another bunch of hoppers. And these hoppers are sort of like in the same place as the furnaces. They're not actually in the same place because they're adjacent and they're pointing ana, so they're pointing into these furnaces. And then finally we just have a collection system. So what I can do is I can place this here, it's going to take sand. I can place this here, it's going to take out coal. And you'll see in a second, they should depart. They're just filling up. But this one's departing. So now all of those hoppers are getting filled. And so that means that, what just happened? Yeah, all of those hoppers are getting filled, which means that these furnaces are also being filled. And we can see that all of these furnaces are slowly lighting up because all of the sand is being put into it. Finally, we just have to have a collection hopper, a collection minecart at the bottom, and that'll just collect all of the items that are being smelted. We have this one at the top, distributing items. How I'm going to do this, I'm just pull all the items out. Then we finally have a fuel minecart, which is distributing all the fuel, and we just have a collection minecart. And the only difference between this and the regular like furnace array is that it's just more compact. Like we can fit 64 furnaces in this 13x13 area, which you can't usually do that. I'm just gonna wait until all this boss slots. This should be the last few rounds. We have a bit more, but it'll get through the system eventually. We can see that, yeah, so this is a 13 in the X direction, 7 in the Y direction, and 13 in the Z direction, and then 2 in the W direction. These sorters are like taking up a bunch of like extra space, like the item input and output. I don't actually know how to make that better, so just because redstone is not my strong suit, this was just like a quick mock-up show for this. Let's see, are we going to get all of the... There's a bit left. It's slowly... I think it's literally just possible. But yeah, that is the... Well, what's that? This is not a efficient design. all 5 stacks of glass smelted. The first 2 stacks were a lot quicker, just because I don't know how to make this good with redstone, but I'm sure someone out there can make like a really nice and efficient 2D furnace array, which is again a thing that's not actually it's just not possible in 3D Minecraft. You usually just need more space, or you need gaps between. Yeah, that's all for this showcase. Oh, how to place the hoppers. That's an important thing. So usually you just place hoppers to the side. Here we have another keybind, which is placeW, which by default is left alt. So if you hold down the placeW button, so left alt, and then you press a stepping direction. So I'm pressing Q and E right now. You see I'm not actually stepping, but I can instead, while holding a stepping direction, I have to be holding a stepping direction for it to work, but I can place down a hopper in the on or kata directions. So for me, it's holding down Q, that places it in the on kata direction, and holding down E places it in the kata direction. Yeah, and that's all that's in this update pretty much. Cool. I hope you enjoy, and the download will be in the description, and it'll have the curseforge and the GitHub.